Well, it's certainly quite a change because there was always lots of work out in this country. If you didn't like the job you had, you went and got another one. But, to see the road here and no traffic on it, it's just amazing. Because in the peak of, in Juniper Lumber and Fraser's, there's just non-stop trucks by here. And all the different people going to work, shifts started about 3 o'clock in the morning. There was just traffic everywhere. So it's a pretty quiet spot. But like I say, we grew up with that mill, and if you were looking for a place to work, it was always there. And I guess we figured it always would be there. But that's not the way it works when the owners don't live in the area. I think that makes quite a difference.
This is home, and this is where we make our living, and it isn't portable, and there's no reason for us to move. Even though we live close to Juniper, I think it's at this point it has less impact on us. When our children were growing up, our children were involved in school activities, and there was a beavers group and cubs and music lessons, and it was a lot going on in the community for young family. That's much less the case now, but we're much less in need of that now. So for us at this point in our life, that this hasn't had an impact on us in an economic sense, or it certainly has had an impact in the sense that people we know are suffering because of it, and so we feel for them. But it doesn't have a direct impact on our ability to make a living.
But it's probably not going to be saved by some large multinational corporation. It's going to be small businesses that are based on what we're good at and what we have here. And
it's very, very important for farmers to have rural infrastructure, and to have neighbors, and to have fire protection, and a local hospital, and access to services. And I think it's more important for a young family to have a dynamic community within reach. We're having a really hard time to attract young people to agriculture, and we've got to make it possible for them to make a living, for you people at your age to go into agriculture and make a living, and that's a real challenge, and we need better policies, government policies to do that, and we need a growing awareness of the importance of food and local, healthy, high-quality food. There's a very real danger that we're going to lose the knowledge of how to produce our own food and maintain ourselves. You've got to have people that know how to garden and know how to plant and know how to raise animals if you're a meat eater, and produce milk. The people who are doing that, I'll say it again, they're in their mid-50s, and there aren't replacement. The next generations aren't coming along to replace them. We were fortunate last spring that our son graduated from agricultural college. He got his degree and came home and wanted to try milking, and the timing was really good with what went on last year, so he was able to slide into place and do most of what's required to keep it going through the fall and winter.
Yeah, I'm John Eric Somerville. Well, I love living in this community, and it's a good way to stay here and make a living. Not a tremendous amount of money, but we do make a living, and there's a lot of freedom day to day. We choose certain aspects of our own schedule. There's things that have to be done every day, but it's a trade-off. It's steady and it's every day, but we have quite a bit of freedom and independence too. So that's my take on it. I guess it's kind of all I've ever done now. I was born into it, I guess you'd say, and it's just something that I've grown to love over the years.
And you go out at night and you can see stars, and right now I'm sitting here watching birds fly by. It's a beautiful place to live. And small communities do look after each other. Your neighbors are your friends. It's a wonderful place to live in a lot of ways. But there are a lot of miles you put on to get your groceries or go to a movie or whatever, you know,
Well, that was the thing back then. You could get everything you needed right here,
in town.
and if you couldn't get here, you could get it in Glassville. But and when you went to the river or down to Woodstock, it was an excursion. It was an exciting trip. Now it's just something you have to do a couple times a week.